What's up, everybody? We did not think about updating the video, so there you go. You get to see a bunch of intro tweets from a month ago, which might have been the last time we were on the Team Hold channel anyways, but good to have everybody back here. Everybody but Jeb. R.I.P. Jeb. We miss him. John, what's going on, man? How we doing?
Not much. I was just looking at the tweets and reminiscing about TST's top 5 sweat there, and so
Yeah. You haven't smelled top 50 since then, right?
Whoa.
TST?
yeah.
No? All right, TC, how are you doing, man? I know you're like checking your standings right now to see where you're at. How we doing?
You fucking know I am. I'm doing great. Raptors are smacking up the Lakers. Where's Dustin with one of his guest appearances? Ready?
He's on his way to Korea right now. He's on his way to South Korea.
And I was gonna say, and reminiscing of that third place finish in the rare competition.
Yeah,
has me feeling good.
Never forget. We got a fun one today. We're gonna Top Shot had some some spicy announcements today. The new challenge, we'll talk about that a little bit. John did a thread, which is most days, but we're gonna talk about John's thread too, which is a nice one. If we've got time, we're gonna dive into a little bit of all day as well, where they've introduced some new playback stuff, maybe touch on Sorare. But it's gonna be a tight hour. It's gonna be a power hour because we're excited, guys. Listen, everyone likes to call us the FUD machine, the FUD sticks, the FUDsicles. Fudsicle is actually pretty good. People,
that's pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah. Like off the top of the
dome. You guys can have that one. You can have that one.
Yeah.
Use it.
But we're excited. Our man, connecting and collecting and correcting. Man, Tradicus is doing his own.
No G's, baby.
No G's, baby. He's doing his first spaces tonight at 10 o'clock over on the Twitter. So we're gonna get out of here by 9:55 Eastern time to make sure that everybody can get in there because it's exciting to see new people do stuff. And he's been having a lot of fun with his little videos, and people love that shit. And I'm excited to see him expand and do some more stuff. So we want to make sure Elmer Fuds, that's a good one too. McCabe, that's a good one. That's how I know Top Shot's not dead. Is Chris McCabe Beard still here? If Sharp Balloon left, we would be fucked. But yeah, everybody go check out Triticus' spaces when we get out of here. But let's also I've been trying to give away, actually our man Sneeps has been trying to give away a Top Shot taco taco fall Top Shot debut for I don't know, like 6 weeks, and no one will claim it after they win it. So this is what I need. Like the stream, subscribe to our channel right now, put hashtag Sneeps. Mike Sorarian, the So Rare Talk, and John Boy be So Rare. There we go. That's good.
That's pretty good.
That's good. And Stubbs, you know what, Stubbs? This is a good, I swear to God, I didn't pay him for like a good transition. Is there a little momentum going on in the Dapper Street? Should we start with the challenge?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. That's the hot topic, right? We've got so we've introduced locking challenges to the Flash Challenge Thunderdome, right? So we've got we've been crafting, we've been adding, we've been burning, whatever, but now we're locking as well. And I think the thing that's most that people are most excited about is getting a little bit of passive rewards, maybe for those who have locked a lot over summer, or chasing leaderboards and then are kind of like, what do I do with my locked moments now? And so I think this is, you don't have to lock them. It doesn't have to be a freshly locked moment, as Patrick Ewing said earlier today. It doesn't have to be a freshly locked one. It could be an old locked one, and it'll count for the reward. So I think people are generally excited about that.
Yeah, TST, what about you? What was your snap response to seeing this tonight?
I mean, it's just a positive overall. I think when we're talking about these challenges, and I mean, we'll get into the whole net neutral thing a little later, and let's kind of disregard that for this point. But like, I think leaning into locking whenever possible for challenges makes sense. I mean, I hope people are aware of what that entails. And as long as they do, then I think this is positive. I think if we had this, a while back, we could be, reaping some of the rewards of that right now as well. So, I mean, if you are someone that is doing these regularly, I think for the most part, it shouldn't really like change your approach to them or anything, because, it's a lot of the same players that should be popping up in these. Maybe if it's a super random one, then you might think twice. But if you're completing it, you're probably buying that at a premium if you didn't already hold it. And it's just, it's meant to reward people that are more long on Top Shot, so that should be a positive.
Yeah. Good.
It also, like for the most part, the challenges have been, for the ones where it's not an egregious burn requirement. I think a lot of the lockers have been getting rewarded because if you have those key pieces locked, you don't really have a choice to try to like sell into the pump and stuff like that. And so,
Mm.
like the last couple challenges, the BAM, the Harden with the Clay moment, and then the Middleton with the Markin. And like if you had just like one or two moments from that already locked up, then everything else pretty much didn't move, and so you could buy them or burn them or whatever, and it wasn't that big of a deal. And so I think for the most part, challenges have been pretty plus EV for the locking crew this to start the year if you've got the certain pieces locked, and now kind of just doing more of them is a little bit more helpful to them for people who are willing to kind of take that risk 6 months ago and lock everything up.
Yeah, I just like that locking is involved. Only because it felt like we had this big announcement about locking and leaderboards, and then we really didn't hear a lot about it until we had like the first reward come. There wasn't really a lot of talk around locking again, and then they just announced the second reward, which we can talk about in a little bit too. So I like just messing with the mechanics that seem to be what they want you to be doing, and not what they want you to be doing, but rewarding the people who are just here for the long haul. To me, I think that is just like I'd rather you favor that than the opposite. So I kind of like that. I want to share Shuckster's tweet, who Shuckster is very, very active in the Top Shot streets and is a character that's been on the Team Hold show quite a bit, and he said, I will literally block someone for complaining about a locking challenge. I've been bleeding out for a year because no one can hold on to their fucking purchases, so I have little empathy for such a dumbass complaint. Keep your moments for a year and get a few moments. Good deal. I love this only because he's also been very critical of some of the other challenges that they've done so far, so it's not like he's just straight chilling all the time. He's like, finally. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think overall this is a pretty positive sign. And I haven't heard a lot of people complain. Like, have you heard any negativity around this announcement? Either of you guys?
I only saw the negativity about the negativity via Shucks.
Well, there is I still feel like the legendary people are getting screwed a little bit because like they dangled the cheat code for legendaries out there where if you just like had one, you got it, and then now you have to like have it locked, which is like a little bit more.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I'm not sure how many people like have the legendaries locked if you're still holding legendaries. Maybe people do, but
Gotcha.
so I think that's a little bit of a bummer because they like ramped up a couple cheat codes. People are like, okay, cool. I mean, when you think about it, like we think about like this whole platform, right? Legendaries like never get utility, right? And the only really thing they've been useful for in the last like I don't know, probably 9 months or something is just cheat code stuff. And so then they kind of started a couple cheat codes, and then they're like, okay, well now they actually have to be locked. And so I think maybe those people have a little bit of a bone to pick, but I mean, I don't know.
The whales.
The whales.
The whales. The Lego whales. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. TST, was there something else you were gonna say? Or I guess I'm just seeing that you maybe are sharing screen there at the bottom. So
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the Momentum Labs Flash Calendar for what's going on in this current one. Yeah, so Scotty Barnes I think he had like 11 rebounds in the first half. So right now, I think he is the like current bottleneck.
Listen, you want some fucking financial advice? Scotty Barnes isn't going to play most of the second half. They're up by 400, I think, right now.
Yeah, but the thing is he's already at 12. So he's already below, I believe, if I read that correctly, he's already underneath. It already makes it underneath his rising star. So we're already looking at his new throwdown is the cheapest one. And then we're getting close to his Top Shot debut from a price perspective too. So
wow.
Top Shot debut only works. Top Shot debut only works for the last one, right?
Well,
it doesn't work for any one.
No, but its mint count is only 4,000, so it'll fit the second criteria as well.
Oh, I see.
But that throwdown kind of already coming to fruition for Scotty. And then based on this, we got Rudy Gobert that could come in
He's
a little bit.
starting off
Yeah,
screen.
he's monstering.
He's
that
projecting
first
for
half.
17. Look at this is the power of the projection, right? You can see where Rudy's expected to end up. Capella maybe. Looks
Yeah,
like we got to get our tool set up to auto swap to the next tier. I don't know if it does that right now.
I don't think it does because this would have been like one of the first times. So
yeah, it's like brand new, right? That would have been crazy if you guys had this ready to go already.
Yeah, well, don't put it past us, Mike.
For people in the
Text him
people in the chat, let us know if you guys are going after it right now. I see Bogdan says no one is talking about La Liga Wyland. I'll be honest, Bogdan, I have not. The closest thing to the La Liga I've watched is the World Cup. I haven't paid attention to anything that's going on over there. Have you guys
have you
been?
even created an account?
You
I
bet.
don't think I've ever logged in.
Oh, I'm
I've
already-
never been there. It's not even open yet, is it?
Okay, yes, it is.
Okay.
No, like can anybody can go there, or anybody can check out La Liga?
I'm pretty sure it's not open beta because the marketplace open.
Okay. Well, here's the reason why nobody's talking about La Liga is there's only 487 buyers in the last 7 days, so it's a pretty small number.
Yeah. There you
Is it
go. Oh,
pumping, though?
J
They say
Fog
it's
saying La
pumping.
Liga's pumping. They're saying it's pumping right now.
It does. It is. I mean, if you look at Crypto Slam, they've more than 2x sales volume over the last 7 days.
So the Portugal
So I
moments
mean, when your sales volume is like 10K, you can double that pretty quickly.
the Portugal moments went for the challenge went from 50 to 400. There's still an edge,
so
guys.
it's
There's still an edge.
So it's some Ponzi economics getting in there. Let me see
It's
it.
I love and what those packs are like whatever. We're not gonna talk about La Liga. Nobody knows what we're talking about. So it would only be disrespectful for us to talk about La Liga.
Do have more volume than UFC though over the last.
It's because they're doing World Cup challenges. So
which hey, listen, I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
yeah.
Good.
I think
That's
I've
great.
decided I'm going to really grind soccer next year.
Like, what does that mean? Like on Sorare? Or
Yeah, I think that's. I think I am.
DFS or-
Like
No,
a weekly men's league, or are you thinking co-ed?
yeah, no, not co-ed for sure, dude. No, I think I am. I think I am gonna. I mean, I've always like sort of paid attention, so I think I'm gonna like line in. Hold on, you have to speak about La Liga in Spanish only. Okay, I like that comment. All right. Also, another beautiful. Well, we can't transition yet, Quad. We can't transition all day yet. We do have to
Quad,
talk
you're
about.
like 10 minutes early. 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Hold on, I'm still trying to figure out the new playbook, so give me like 5 more minutes.
All right. One thing so anyways, first of all, let's just say kudos to Top Shot. I think this challenge tweak is a step in the right direction. I think it's something people were calling for a long time. I think the only negative thing I've seen is it's like, well, yeah, I should do this like a couple months ago. And it's like, all right, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. So shout out.
Wait, is that exactly what I just said as my take?
Probably, dude. No,
it would have been better.
Yeah,
You're
like
complaining.
yeah. But one thing that I wanted to tell, or I was saying like I wanted, like this was all my idea. We talked about this offline. One of the things that we wanted to hit tonight was this whole idea of net neutral, and I would say there's like some confusion about what it means, both from people consuming the content on Twitter, John, specifically that you're putting out, because I don't think anyone else is actually doing any sort of homework around net neutral. They're just being like, hey, remember when they said net neutral? And yes, they are doing it, or no, they aren't doing it. And like when the people who are like, no, they're not.
Burned 2.5 million moments, bro.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Where it's like, dude, try 2.5 million, bro. And so I feel like maybe you should take us through a little bit of like what you're seeing. And I also want to say too, like I feel like yesterday or whenever the first tweet came out, you kind of like, you know what, dude, I'm not doing fucking threads anymore. Nobody likes me. Nobody likes my analysis. And then you did that, and then everyone was like, dude, where's the analysis? We love that shit. So I'm glad. I'm glad you had to do it.
It's funny. It's funny when I do put out a thread, everybody comments like Fun Burger Express, and then when I don't put out a thread, everybody's like, yo, what the hell? So,
what do these numbers mean, man?
yeah.
For those with less analytical minds.
So I think it is maybe worth cruising through these real quick, and we'll give the we'll touch on the net neutral stuff at the end, but we'll give just a high level view of some of this stuff, and we'll give the audio thread this week. So at the top here, we're just looking at basically what happens with Top Shot challenges and pack drops, right? And so this is just like moments added or subtracted from like the Top Shot decisions kind of. And so you can see we're on like a every other week cadence now of pack drops. Obviously next week's update will have quite a bit because of the hot packs number 3. And then shout out to Lurker in the TS General Discord. He actually hooked me up and said, "Yo, why are you not having offers on your charts?" And I said, "Dude, I don't know how to figure out offers." And he showed me how to do that in the live token Discord. So
John, hold on
we've
one
got
second. 1 second, real quick. You're in the Top Shot General?
Top Shot General, dude. I'm hanging out in there.
All right.
Collectors Club, baby.
Has it come full circle? That's the place to be again?
It's kind of fun, dude. It's kind of fun mostly because people are just talking in there all day, and like most of the other Discords I click around, dude, people are just not talking. So when I'm bored at work, I like to see like people talking about stuff. So
Fair.
just keep a finger on the pulse. But I thought this was kind of crazy. There's like a ton of volume coming from offers, and I didn't really realize that much. I mean, you can see it's almost like I don't know, 50% or so of the total volume on the platform. Which is pretty wild, I think. And then it adds a lot to the transactions as well. So, I mean, biggest trend from this is just like kind of our buyers and sellers here. Definitely not really moving in the right direction here with a lot less buyers and more sellers. Been quite a few weeks here where sellers are outpacing buyers. And then this was the big one that jumped out to me this week. Is a lot less volume on the whale side, or the top 10 buyers this week. Didn't buy as much. Sellers didn't sell as much either, but obviously it's a little bit of a two-sided game there. So gotta have buyers to be able to sell. And then yeah, what everybody cares about is all this supply metric crap. And so I don't know really why I track all this shit, but I started it a couple weeks ago, and I like just tracking numbers, and there's like nothing else to really do, so I just started tracking all this supply stuff. But really, where it all boils down to here is on the net neutral stuff. And so one of the things I was tracking is like the delta between. Maybe it's important to talk about the locker room effect this week. So you can see 150 moments left the locker room, but 500,000 moments more are in packs this week. So that includes these 150,000 moments plus like I don't know 220,000 or whatever from the hot packs. So anyways, that's where that big number jumps up, and then next week it'll all fall back into this like total moments number. So it's kind of like a lagging indicator there. I wouldn't read too much into all that. That'll kind of wash out. But then I started looking at like the net neutral stuff because it's like, okay, well, this is something that everybody was hyped up on in July. So let's try to figure out like how we're trending there. And really what it boils down to, I was going from the start of like the NBA season. So October 18th. Then I got some feedback like, hey, maybe check out like all the way back to the start of S4, like include all the summer stuff. And so I went through it today and I was like trying to figure out what was deflationary over summer. And it was basically squad goals, a couple locker room packs, and then a couple archive and WNBA crafting stuff that used moments from Series 2 and Series 3. But for the most part, the numbers there are pretty much the exact same as if you just started at the beginning of the NBA season. It's off by like 5K or something.
John, when you say you got feedback about that, do you mean like collectors who saw your tweets were like, oh, what if you included all of Series 4, or was that like Top Shot people were like, hey, but maybe you should include the rest of those?
It was actually both, to be honest. Like people were like, "Oh, I think if you include all of S4, it's better." And I was like, "No, I don't think it's. I think it's pretty much the same." And then you got
like, nah, you're wrong.
And then got some feedback on the Top Shot side too, saying, "Hey, I think you should try to take a look all the way back at the beginning of Series 4." And I was like, "All right, well, fuck, I'll do it." And then and like I thought, it was a difference of 5,000 freaking moments, so it wasn't really worth all the work. But we did it. We like to be dot our T's and cross our I's.
You hear that, Austin? You have 5,000 more moments you can pick,
dude. John, pretty brave of you though, dude, to take time out of the Top Shot General to crunch those numbers, though.
Exactly. And so then it really comes down to basically whether they're going to lean into the locking stuff or not, right? Because this all these words right here are saying, hey, to define net neutral, we're gonna that means the number of moments in circulation at the end of S4 need to be the same as at the beginning of S4. And for all intents and purposes, that number is 26,005,273 moments, baby. And so if you look through all the deflationary stuff, which would just be burning in the locker room, we have added about 43,000 per week this season. If you include locking, which obviously over summer, start of S4 was the first time we ever did any locking, 2.5 million some odd moments have been locked. We've got a much bigger runway on this, road to net neutral here, if that's what they're mainly going to lean into. So, I mean, I personally don't think they should even I mean, they can like use locking if they want, but like I don't really think it matters because to me, locking is just like a more prolonged version of the locker room, right? Like
Right, it's pausing.
for yeah, for right now, you send a moment to the locker room, it's in there for however long it is, and then eventually like it comes back out or whatever. With the locking, the locker room in itself as a function of the website is deflationary, right? But like the specific moments going in and out of the locker room, or maybe more coming on to S3 and S2s are going in or whatever. And it's kind of the same for locking, right? Like, yeah, 2.5 million moments, or really like because you could see this delta right here of the 15,000 in the locked delta. So since the beginning of the season, roughly 15,000 moments per week have been locked since the beginning of the NBA season, right? So that's been like 6 weeks now. But there's a total of 2.6 million moments that are locked. So
Well,
obviously, a ton of those happened in July,
right.
August, like right when those leaderboard stuff was coming out. And so come July, August of next year, there's going to be a whole bunch of moments that could be unlocked if people
Right.
want to.
John, so also TSC, you can jump into. I apologize. I feel like this is the second time I've done that where I immediately fired a question. But I think some of the chat is taking this information as that we actually are net neutral, that Top Shot's doing a good job. Is that what you are taking away from this?
I mean, I personally don't think that we should be looking at the locking, right? And so, in my opinion, this first line is the one that they should be using from a net neutral standpoint. And maybe if like I don't know, maybe if like we're pretty fucking close at the end of the year, they're like, yeah, well, we locked some shit too, so like close enough, right? But like, it's not like we're not trending in like the direction of like being pretty close, right? It's like every week it's like adding about like 40,000, which is like, I don't know, adds up to be quite a bit by the end of the year. And so, I just, I, or another way to put it maybe would be, I would be more willing to like kind of buy the locking stuff if there's been like some consistent effort to like do other stuff, right? That's also
Right.
deflationary, right? But like,
Right.
I mean, shit, we haven't seen like locker room packs since like what? Since freaking DJ Local was firing through them in Vegas? Like, I don't know. It feels like it's been quite a while since we've had locker room packs. We
That
finally
was
got
literally
those back.
summer league. That was summer league,
Yeah,
July.
I mean, we finally got those back. I really don't understand why they're not allowing more trade tickets for packs, more burning for packs, more like it's just so easy and like they're not losing revenue from it. Like, I mean, yeah, they are, but like literally just make a couple more fucking packs and then let people burn for them, keep the same revenue that you need to. Like nobody will give a shit. But it's just
Yeah.
like from a optic standpoint, it like makes it seem like they're trying stuff. Um, but like, because when you think about like the sentiment right now, like the general kind of thing that I'm seeing for, outside of the Twitter, like follow me if you're in here for the long haul stuff, is basically people who are like, oh shit, I have a lot of $1 moments. Like, what am I gonna do with these? Are they ever big about the locker room? And then people are like, also like, damn, these burning challenges are kind of getting hard, and only like 500 to 1,000 people do them every night. Like, that's like the two sides of the thing. And so it's like, give some more options to do deflationary stuff, and then you can kind of like bring in your locking stuff to help round out the corners. But if they were to like send out a blog today being like, hey, we're negative 2.4 million on the net neutral side because we counted all this locking shit from over summer, like, I don't know, that's just so disingenuous in my mind.
Yeah, man, I think to me, like the bigger thing is, and I really don't want to belabor this because this
Yeah,
conversation's been had
yeah.
before, and I don't want it to to beat a dead platform. But like I think if they were just doing stuff, this would feel different. And by stuff, it could mean anything. It could mean the stuff what you were just talking about, like having these locker room packs. It could be, dude, just like anything, man. I mean, like we haven't heard from anybody in forever outside of being like, dude, 13 games coming up this weekend. Like, who's excited, right? And like, which I think is fine. I like that. I like that they're doing that. They're connecting with the game. They're connecting and collecting. Shut up, my man, Trudy. But like, I like that they're doing that. I'm like, man, you got some other stuff coming up. Like the tour is this weekend. Like, let's
It's this
fucking
weekend.
hammer that stuff, dude. Like, here's
It's
what's
this
coming up
weekend.
Thursday. Yeah,
Oh my
here's what's
god.
coming up Thursday. Here's what's coming up Friday. Like, guess
That's
who's gonna
funny.
be there? This is what we're gonna be doing while we're there. And like that's the stuff that and again, I want to be as patient as possible or as understanding as possible where with like, they lost a quarter of their staff, and I'm sure it's chaos over there in a lot of different ways, and a lot of people their roles have expanded, all that shit. Like, totally understand that, but I do think a lot of this stuff gets curbed a little bit more if just something was happening, like anything was happening outside of Discord pings that say a challenge is live. Like honestly,
Discord
like
pings
this,
how many people did the challenge. Discord pings the
right,
moments have now been distributed.
right,
Yeah.
and
And new hot packs.
and new hot packs. Like I do think like if it just felt like they were doing anything outside of like, again, I don't know how many times we're gonna like congratulate the captains. I mean, the
Yeah.
captains are doing great
Yeah, yeah.
shit. Like, of course
Yeah.
they're doing great shit, but like it feels weird if they're the only ones doing the great shit.
Well, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what happens with, I mean, not to like get, potentially really negative here, but it would be nice to see a little bit of like confirmation that the captain stuff's gonna continue on because it was originally only for 22, I think.
I
So
think they
I
did say
really
it was
hope.
gonna
Okay.
continue, but that
Did they?
I
Okay.
think the budget might be a little bit different,
Okay. Well, that's good enough. Um,
Um,
So before we move off Top Shot, I'll say two things. The first thing is the beginning or the bottom of this chart is one that I think is really interesting to me. That started tracking at the beginning of the season, and it's the number of moments that are near the floor, right? Because so when I first created this chart, I was like, okay, if I'm sitting in the chair as like, part of Top Shot economist or whatever, like what are some shit that I would like want to try to like track on a weekly basis to like see how my economy is going, right? And I thought that was an interesting one, like the number of moments within a tier that are near the floor level. And I kind of just made these arbitrary like 40, 450, and 600, but I don't know, at the time it seemed pretty good. 600's looking pretty generous right now for a legendary, but um at the time it was decent. And like, I don't know, man, it's been pretty disheartening to see this happen. I mean, we knew like there was a lot of commons near the floor, and but to go from 85 to 93% right now is seems pretty substantial for the amount of commons that there are on the site. But the biggest one to me has been the rares, right? It went from 185 rare moments and 30% of the site to 380 rare moments and 53% of the site is now
Yeah.
under $50. And that one is definitely a bummer, right? Because and this is kind of how I've started to look at Series 4 a little bit, because of the, I don't know, the announcements that they've had with the like all these fucking rare sets is just like, it's like Series 4 is turning into like the year that we're gonna dilute rares, and it's like, I don't know, like, is that the plan? Like, is the plan to have too many commons last year? Now this year we're gonna have too many rares, and next year
I have such mixed feelings about it too, because I really do love the video game numbers one. Like, I think that, and I saw some people be like, "Yeah, but dude, AD lost that game." I'm like, I don't give a shit, man. Even if they won, it's a freaking November game. Who cares? Like, yeah, but don't you remember, dude? That was the Lakers' 4th win of the season. Like, nobody cares about that. I don't know. I like that's kind of what's bumming me out, where I like try to get hyped about it, and I don't know. Maybe it's like the current user base, or not the current user base, like the former user base, like us and the people who are maybe selling right now, where like our brains are so programmed to be like, okay, but how is this Anthony Davis rare moment different from the rare moment in Series 3, which is different from the rare moment in Series 2 and the 11 from Series 1? I think like our brains do that, and it's maybe that's just like bad for what this platform is supposed to be.
But also like it's okay to have yeah, they have to put out rares from this year, right? But like,
Right.
I don't know. I always thought it was just such a slam dunk to like this freaking Hot Packs 3 drop, right? They're coming out with 2 rares, Luca and AD. Like, very, very targeted, like 2 guys part of this drop. Like, why not have it be an option to where if you have a Luca rare or 2 Luca rares or whatever, I don't know, come up with something. A Luca rare plus 10 Luca commons. You burn them and you automatically get it, right? You automatically get this video game one, right?
Yeah.
If you like it, like we're gonna set 200 of these Lucas aside and 200 of the ADs, and we're gonna throw up a little builder, and the first 200 people to do it, they get it. They're guaranteed this moment. You have to burn something probably of equal or more value to get it. But if you like this moment better or whatever, then it's worth it to you and you do it, right? It's at least like an option, like spices things up a little bit, makes people start thinking like, oh shit, well, if they do this for the LeBron, maybe I grab a couple of LeBrons and I do that. And like, or maybe like I don't really like the Series 3 MGLE as much as I do the Series 2. Maybe the Series 4 is gonna be better. So I'll burn the 3, have the 2 and the 4. Like, it just makes people like start to think about it a little bit. And like I did like a scenario on this for like the first MGLE drop, and like they were able to do a bunch of the stuff and you could still get revenue from it. You could still sell a bunch of packs and get money from it. And I just think I've just been harping on like, why have we not innovated anything? Like, why is the coolest shit to happen in Series 4 is like flash challenge, like more complicated flash challenges, right? Like that's like the main thing that we have to look at.
Yeah. I don't know. TST, we've been yammering a lot.
Well, I think that when it comes to the rare thing, it's not necessarily that we get new sets, that they bring back sets from Series 1 or whenever they were from and stuff like that. It's that like we still don't have player limits. So like I'd be much more excited if it was like, okay, video game numbers, that is Luca's only 2 rares and the other one's an MGLE.
It is weird.
So it's just like, oh, like he might have 8 rares and like, great, the mint counts have been cut down, but when you have 10 moments, then the overall mint count of that player is massive. So
yeah,
what are we doing?
And same with the fandoms, like putting guide rails on that stuff just makes people not want, like it makes people want to go after the fandom because they know that's his only fandom or something. And instead of like, being like, oh, well, maybe he'll have like another fandom later because he's Luca and he has like a bunch of crazy games or whatever. And like, I don't know.
I guess
did Mike freeze out?
It froze Mike in a great face though.
Yeah, he's looking concerned at these EV calcs for the so we'll pop while we're waiting on Mike to hop back in. We will we'll look at the Hot Packs EV here. Interested to hear your take on this, TSD, because really the only thing that matters for the EV calc itself is like these 3 prices, because the rares, there's just not enough of them for it to matter. Like I can make these both like 100 and 150 bucks and it changes it by like 30 cents or something. So the rares don't matter that much just because there's not many of them. And so really it's like the rookie debuts. And like, I don't know, man, it was kind of disheartening to see Sohan and Coloco down at like 12 bucks. And I mean, I don't really see any reason why Beauchamp and Roddy won't be there, right? Like, I don't know.
I would argue they'd maybe be lower.
Yeah, especially exactly. Beauchamp. Like, I could see Roddy having like a little bit of a fan base there, but Beauchamp definitely.
Yeah, I mean, they just haven't really done it. At least Coloco has had a couple games.
Yeah.
And then Ivy, like I don't know, like maybe Ivy could be he might be more than Mathurin. Mathurin's I think 45 right now. You know, at the beginning of the season, obviously, yes, Ivy would be like. I just feel like Mathurin's got a little bit of that hype to start the year, where Ivy hasn't as much. So I don't know, maybe you bump Ivy up to like $50, and that changes the EV by like $1. But I mean, I know that's kind of what we're dealing with here, and like, it's just kind of a weird deal where like I've literally started putting $1 in for base moments, uh,
It's
because like you scroll the marketplace and like for a while I was just always putting two, and then people are like, "Well, why do you put two? Like you can't sell them for two." And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't sell them for two?" And then like I go and I look at the marketplace, and like every single base moment has an average sale of like $1 or something.
I,
It's
I
just
mean,
like holy shit.
I was trying to sell a lot of the stuff that weren't like because trade tickets didn't seem to be a usable thing at this point, and I was like, what am I doing? Hold on to like all these Brooke Lopez's or whatever. And so I was like, I'll like look and see if I can list for two, and a lot of them you couldn't list for two, so I was like, let me list for one, and then they would stay there for a while too, which was I mean like unheard of even a month or so ago.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
And then
when
it's
I
like
looked
95
at
cents.
yeah. And it's like accept those $1 bids while they're still there.
I know.
When I looked at this, basically the way I broke it down was essentially like there is 3 ways for you to have a winning pack, and that's one of the 2 rares or Jaden Ivey. And then other than that, like
okay.
you'd have to get some sort of nice combination of those. Like I guess you could get a rookie debut and then maybe one of the parallels or something, and then you get like a break even pack. But other than that, that's like your only way. And like to me, the numbers didn't matter much. Like if Jaden Ivey is 35, Jaden Ivey is 50, if he's 60, if those rares are 50, if they're 100, no matter what, like it'll change the EV by a little bit, but that won't change like the winners and losers at all. So it's like if you pull one of those 3 moments, and like I guess the only like good thing going is that like Jaden Ivey is out in almost like full supply. So that means that there is 10% of the packs that are getting to Jaden Ivey. So like around like somewhere between 10 and like 12.5% will be winners. And that depends because technically you could get a rare and a Jaden Ivey in one pack. So, I mean, it's like a 10% chance basically.
Driver
The
says
rest.
what percent are losing. It's actually so basically I think it's like 75% are losers, 13% are winners, and whatever the rest is 15% or something should break even. So
And that's what if you get a parallel essentially?
to break even, you need a good parallel or one of the other rookies. To be a winner, you need Ivy or the rares, and then literally if you don't get a good parallel or a rookie, you're gonna lose money.
So
Because I don't know why they changed it to $20. It just seems kind of weird.
that
they increase the number of moments, but then they but they change, like they have been messing with like and then this moment is this or that, but now it's like, okay, you have only 1 chance at a rare in 6 moments. Before you had 3 chances at it. Like and then before, right? I think the original hot packs was like, it was 3 moments, but every single moment you had a chance of hitting. So technically you could have pulled like 3 rares or whatnot. So they've been like changing. I think it's more of an experimentation thing. I just don't like, I guess it was just because they didn't have that many rares and that's why they did it this way. But like,
yeah. It's like a bummer. Like we're like, I don't know. People kind of got fired up at AD for doing this earlier in the year where they were doing pack drops every 2 weeks. And then they kind of stopped that for a little bit. But like I think it's like 36,000 packs on sale. So yeah, I mean it's basically Dapper needs to get between $500 and $750,000 of revenue every 2 weeks. It's like what the formula is, right? And like however they do it, they're gonna do it, but like it's just not sustainable. I don't think.
John, was it you who tweeted this or somebody else that was like, we're basically 5 to 8 moments per users right now?
Yeah. That was me. That was because if you look at like the 40,000 moments that are coming out per week, right? And you divide that by the 5,600 buyers, adds up pretty quick.
I want to say too, like, I mean, I don't have all the answers for like what exactly they should be doing. I'll keep that in mind. Like, I'm not out here being like these idiots have their eyes closed. Like, I don't I don't have those answers either, but I do know. I mean, I'd be curious what you guys are doing right now, but I'm like comfortably on the sidelines, and what's been interesting about it too is it's been like, I don't know, man. I the first couple of pack drops I missed, I was like, oh man, dude, should I just like get guys, what's this pack worth? Like, should I just get this fucking pack? I almost talked myself into it. And then by the time also, Barnes says 15 boards. But by the time now I'm at the point where I'm like, I haven't even thought about it. Like I haven't even thought about lining up. Like the fact that there was a W drop, a legendary drop, which I've been like a pretty big fan of. I didn't even think about it.
Well, that
and I
was
think a lot.
invite only, Mike.
What'd you say?
That was invite only, Mike. So
is today invite only too? So you got an email letting you know it was coming up, and then we get
today
a
was
ping.
also only invite only or something.
But like I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at right now, and I feel like a lot of people. Well, not a lot. I mean, there's still a bunch of people on Twitter that are lining up for everything, but I do feel like a lot of people have been like, you know what? I'll just go get it in the marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense with these packs where 10 to 15% actually, like, because I was actually I was gonna comment on your post in Team Hold, Mike, where you were like, yeah, it seems like people are probably only going for these for the lotto, but at the same time, it's like they're like these moments are like the hits are not even really lotto hits. Like shit, it's like at a $20 price point, you're like stoked to get a $40 moment. It's like, damn, like that's not even
And that's
really
what it is,
lotto.
right?
Like,
I think the rares be in that 40-50 range.
I think the Lucan AD will be like 50, 70, I think is what I have for him. AD a little bit more because he has less rares, but I mean, still, like you buy 3 of these and you're like at that, you have to basically hit a rare to then break even on your lotto hit. So it's like,
right.
I don't know, it's just not even that great anymore.
Yeah, I will say,
I will answer your initial question of like, all right, let's come clean. I own one moment now, right? I only have one moment in my account. It's a Giannis block. It's a Lego. It's locked
for the finals, right?
Yeah, finals block. 273 more days or something. And I originally was. I mean, I got to the phase of like where I had like 15 moments in my account. I don't know, quite a few months ago, and I was like, whatever. Like, I'll just kind of let these moments ride out. I don't really care that much. I'm not going to be buying, selling. I'll just hold them. And then like, I don't know, dude. Like those moments lost like 25% value. Like I don't know, it's a decent amount of money, and they lost like 25-30% value. And I'm like, over the course of like 2 or 3 months, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what, like what's the point of me just like having these here? Like it's not like I'm like closed up shop and being like, hey, fuck Top Shot, I'm never coming back. Like, I mean, we're here doing a weekly show. Like I still do analysis on everything. Like I'm posting the Discord. Like, but I was just like, why should I just keep like watching stuff go down? Right. So I sold it all, whatever, took the money out. If we ever get this thing turned around, I mean, it's not like I'm giving up on Top Shot. I'll come back in, I'll buy some moments and we'll get going. But I don't know. That was just my take. I was like, at first, like a couple months ago, I was like, oh, I'll just sell all the fluff and just hold on to this stuff that I like personally as moments. And then I don't know. It wasn't like I like needed the money or I was like, oh shit, like whatever. But I just was like, well, why should I like watch this stuff go down like 30-40% every couple months? Why don't I just sell it and take it out and do something better with the money? So that's basically where I'm at. We're keeping that Giannis Lego block, locked in. But for now, I'm down to one moment, and the only all day moments I have are for Rumble.
For Rumble, yeah, I get like over. Yeah, McKay Beer just asked that. I've got like over 300, I think, Top Shot moments right now, but they're all locked, I think, except for like maybe one. That's it, I think. So, and I'm of the same mindset. I actually like during this morning's show, I was like looking at it because someone asked me. I think someone which has been kind of fun. Like people who have always been into So Rare are now finding the NBA morning show, and so they're like, oh, like what are your favorite moments? And I went back and I like pulled up the Jason Tatum debut and watched that one. And I was like, man, that is like a sick moment. He crosses up Paul George and like sticks it. And then I was like nostalgic for how excited I was when I got it. And then I thought about how much it cost. And it's like, man, this is like $200 now. And then I watched the Jokic one, and I remember doing shows being like, man, if this Jokic Top Shot debut gets under $2,000, dude, I'm gonna snag this thing like right now. And so it's so weird to both feel like, man, I'm so glad I have this thing. I love this thing. And then I have no regrets about having this thing, but then also being like, oh my God, like I just got here at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's funny too. Like I was trying to do a calc for the trade ticket packs, and God, TST, they freaking screwed up the trade ticket site. It's like you just have to scroll through thumbnails to figure out what the hell's in there. So I just got pissed off pretty quick, and so I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna find out like what like how many of the good moments are in there. And so I was like, all right, I went to series 1, like I just went to the marketplace, series 1 common moments sorted high to low, and I was like, all right, well,
it's
I'll
a
just
bloodbath.
yeah, I know. I was like, well, I'll just look at like every moment over $100.
24.
And it was like, yeah, it was like in the whole batch of like 150,000 locker room moments that's coming out next week. There's 47 freaking moments that are over $100, like out of 150,000 moments. It's like, holy shit! Like
I looked at it this
know.
morning. I think there's 24 Series 1 common moments that are over $100 right now. I mean, that's included.
Yeah.
That's like four, and 4 of those are LeBron moments, I think, or 5 of those are LeBron moments.
Yeah, 4 are LeBrons. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, like, yeah, oh God, it's so crazy. And then I'm weirdly like thankful I sold some of the stuff when I did, because it's down like
down another
100% since then. Yeah,
oh my
it's
God,
nuts.
more than 100%.
Oh, anyways, but I did like looking at them today. I like looking at those moments, which I know it sounds like a joke. I really did. I was like, dude, this Tatum moment is sick, man. Listen, I feel like we don't have enough time to really dive into the playbook. Do we have any? I don't know. Is there any? Do we have like cliff notes stuff of things that we want to get to? Because I want to make sure we get out of here in 5 minutes so that we can hit up our man Trudy Kiss's Spaces. He said he might be just like singing. He said he
said he might be playing guitar.
Yeah, like, so this is gonna be way better than what we're doing right now. But we are giving away Taco Fall from his Shanghai Sharks debut. But like this
for Quadzilla, we'll talk about the playbook.
Yeah.
Here's my hot take on it. He's sat here for 48 minutes on accepting. So okay, I'll be honest with you. Here's how I went about the playbook last week. Because I created the sheet to track playbook, like all the shit, and I like logged in and I opened it up and I saw like 74 challenges per playbook, and I was like, holy fuck, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And I honestly got overwhelmed, and I was like, I'm not exactly sure how I can provide very good analysis on this with so many different options. But then they came out with the week 14, right? So I think 13 and 14 are actually both open right now. They already opened up week 14. And there's pretty good symmetry, right? Similarity between the playbooks, right? Like they're pretty much a lot of the very similar challenges, a lot of the very similar stuff, right? They went away from the Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night challenges, which I'm a little bit bummed about because those were kind of fun, right? Kind of give you something to think about on those nights. And they're just kind of week-long challenges now for different, leaders and stuff like that. But the positive I'll say is, hopefully they continue with the consistency, and then you can kind of like, lock into like a set group of players, right? And if you have those guys, you're probably going to be pretty set for the playbooks coming up. And I think that's actually intentional on their end, right? They're trying to encourage like holding some of those moments that you'll need multiple weeks and stuff like that. So that's my only takeaway. That's not very in depth, but
I think that makes sense. I haven't looked
and
at
then
all
this they did encourage people. You get bonuses if you like hold on to the rewards from last week, so that's kind of cool. Just add. I'm always
I do like that.
Ponzi economics.
Snoop says, so are you saying I'm dumb for buying $1 moments? I'm just grabbing non-bases like Seeing Stars.
Well,
man, Seeing Stars is $2.
No way. Seeing Stars are $1?
Unless something is that a different set? Is that a different set?
No, that's Seeing Stars. That's Seeing
Stars.
That can't be $1. Seeing Stars being $1.
I bet you offers you can definitely get them for $1.
Holy crap, dude! I remember. Whatever. We probably all did this, but I remember when Seeing Stars came out, and I was like, yeah, dude, freaking Luke will never get another 10K common moment, man. I'm gonna spend $900 on this one. I spent I deposited like 3 times the Seeing Stars weekend, and I bought every moment from Seeing Stars. Just so stupid.
That was when
okay.
that was the first time I was like, hey guys, I think this is a bad idea. It's the first time I said it on the show where I was like, I think we should sit this out, guys. People are like, nah, dude, I got to get the LeBron. I'm like, I don't think you do. There's going to be a rare one like the same day.
But yeah, so we're looking at $3, pretty much $3 and $4 for everybody.
Man,
Jaylen Brown
like,
for some reason is 7.
NFT news and drop alerts talking like people got W's this year.
Early on, yeah.
You think so?
Well, like also like your W's are on like a lot of your losses are just you haven't actually sold them, so there's still not losses yet. So
I am not worried.
I know. I'm actually pretty stoked.
Most
Pretty stoked to do taxes this year.
Yeah. I'm pretty. That's what I've been doing is I go and look at what am I down worse on, and that's how I started my selling. I was like, taxes.
How much do you think the LeBron reward is from Seeing Stars?
$30.
63.
40. All right.
Shit. People must be up.
God, that was going for like 400.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, oh, Sneap says the JV moment is a moment ranks player. Well, that's good. That's good. That's for that. Somebody was asking about. Well, some people were asking about $1 moments. So here's my interest. I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens for this because, I mean, we're legitimately getting to the point where I don't think we're that far from $1 moments sitting on the market, right? I mean, you guys said like sometimes you see that happen, right? But it's like relatively short, right?
It was taking like a day for a couple of them.
Oh shit. Well,
yeah.
That counts, kind of. I thought you meant like 30 minutes or something for like the bots to get past the live token lag or something. Okay, so that is okay. So we're definitely very close to $1 moment sitting, and what that just means is like the locker room stuff isn't really worth it either.
Right.
Like which actually is a little bit, I think, more concerning than people realize. Because like that's kind of the only reason why moments are worth even $1. And so if the locker room is also not worth buying, it might take a while because people like to do the locker room or whatever. So I don't know. It can very quickly be like to where $1 moments are selling, and then it's like I don't know, dude. It's gonna be kind of a shitty thing when that happens because then a lot of stuff's gonna trickle down.
Well, right. And if stuff doesn't, you're going to start being like, why can't I list my moment for 50 cents if it won't sell for $1?
Yeah. Well, I just think that if like, I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would assume a lot of the transaction are dollars. Like a lot of the offers are dollars and stuff like that. And so I don't know, dude. I just think like it's going to be a new wave of people being like, holy fuck.
Or it's about the moon, baby. Or it's about
collected and connected, baby.
Wait, seriously though, go. I'm actually gonna drop a link. I'll drop a link.
I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna check it out for a little bit.
I'm definitely gonna. I am. I don't want anyone to take that as a joke. Like I love what Churticus is doing right now.
Oh yeah,
and somebody's got to do it.
He's got a logo now. The guy's got a logo.
I know. I did it for like a year. All right. For a year, I was that guy where I was like, guys, this shit, you guys are being too negative. This shit's the best. And I like Batman, I ran out, I guess, and I need to pass the cape on or something. That's a bad comic book analogy, but I had to pass it on. Anyways, I just shared a link to his Twitter spaces. So go check that out. NFT News says Celtics are about to be on ESPN. I actually have a bet with our man, Coach Stark Holmes, for a So Rare limited card between 15 and 20, I think we said, for Cap. Celtics versus Suns tonight, which is kind of fun.
That is fun.
I'm gonna spin this,
but it's fun. So Rare is fun, dude.
You know what? I'm actually glad we didn't talk about So Rare at all tonight, so then the haters can just shut the fuck up. Like we talked Dapper.
No, seriously.
We talked Top Shot for a flower.
For
Yeah,
a
we did
whole
Top Shot,
hour.
but yeah, Quad's still pissed. We only talked about all day for like 2 minutes. We're gonna spin this, but I know
Quad sold
TST
all of his all day moves. He's still pissed.
TST just dropped a Top Shot video. He also just dropped a rare video, so go check his channel out.
Except
John,
I don't do Top Shot content anymore. So
yeah, according
that
to Twitter,
video
dude.
doesn't exist. This stream doesn't
It's been
exist.
2 months, dude. Thanks for breaking the seal on your 2-month hiatus.
Yeah.
John, this show is sponsored by Momentum Labs. Everybody go check out Momentum Labs. You can get a full picture. You don't like Twitter threads? Go check out Momentum Labs. You can get deep in those spreadsheets. John, anything you need to plug right now?
We are doing a little bit of a site revamp over the next week or two. I think reorganizing things, making it a little bit easier to get around on the Monumental Labs to everything we've got with all day Top Shot and Sorare. And I think I honestly think that our leaderboard tool is the best in the biz, and so we just updated that for the new 1500 snapshot. Have all the new
Oh, nice.
the new thresholds in there if you're trying to go for the different parallels and stuff like that. So basically it'll tell you like where you're at and all those, how much you've moved over the last 24 hours, how much potentially you can move up if you lock, stuff like that. So pretty good tool.
Nice. Everybody go check that out. Also, if you are in the Sorare streets, got a ton of great projections and stuff like that over there. Speaking of which, what's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow we have the NBA show in the morning. Nothing for the rest of the day. Friday, we have a busy day. Friday, we have the morning show. We have a special guest, a comedian and basketball fan, Mike Malloy, is going to come on for a little happy hour-esque show to talk mostly Celtics. And then I forgot I was like sharing the Triticus's thing right here. And then we'll also have Live Before Lock for all of your So Rare content with our man Gnome. We'll be back. I think that's everything. You can find links for everything in the show notes. We're going to spin this sneep right here. If you win this Taco Fall, send me a DM, either at Mike's Carrying or on the Discord. We'll get that over to you. Shout out our guy Sneeps who gave it away. And it is going to NFT news and drop alerts. Check out NFT news. I got to check out NFT news and drop alerts. I've seen you in here in a while. I haven't seen your content, so I need to check it out. I think that's it, boys. We got anything else? We did it.
We did it on the
All
dot.
right. Everybody go say hi to Jeb. Go just like tweet at him or something. Thanks for being here. We'll see you all next week. We are out.